I believe I'm live, KBLX Nation. I believe I'm live.
Sit back and let your radio groove. Nikki in the afternoon. Nikki Thomas doing it for you.
Okay, looks like my video did not play correct.
In the afternoon. Sit back and let your radio groove. Nikki in the afternoon. Nikki Thomas doing it for you.
I don't know what that was. Don't ask me what just happened, KBLX Nation, because I'm really not sure myself. I think the internet is a little slow. Happy Friday, Juanita, KBLX Nation in the building, darling. It's Nikki Thomas live on the KBLX Facebook fan page, live on Nikki Thomas TV, and I'm live on the Nikki Thomas page and on YouTube too. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere you look, baby. D minor, how you doing, baby? I'm all the way in New Orleans tonight. I'll tell you that. I am not fancy. I'm not camera ready. Hey, Sherry Moore, how are you, darling? Lorraine Allen is here. Michelle Shell is in the building. Okay, blessed and wonderful Friday it is. Hallelujah. Katrina Elliott is in the building. Y'all come on through. Come on in, KBLX Nation. Come on in. We're going to have a little girl talk tonight. I'm going to introduce my very special guest because y'all know I like to have conversations about things that are going to be positive triggers for us. I love to have conversations that are going to make us think and think again and challenge ourselves. Okay, so Terrence Parker is here. Monica Brown. Monica Brown, it's my birthday. Don't stop, get it, don't stop, get it. Happy birthday, sis. Happy birthday. Good evening, Katrina Darling. Damien, D minor, in the building. Okay, so listen. I want to introduce you guys to the lady that changed my thinking about dating, love, and relationships. This is where it all started. Okay, so if you're single, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be good for everybody. I want her to talk to us tonight about the number one secret to healthy relationships. I'm single, but I'm telling you, it really, really works to think in a certain way that will attract what you really want. Big Rob, where you been, baby? Where you been? Okay, so she is the author of the Conscious Dating Workbook. She is a dating and relationship expert. Her name is Angela Holton. Angela Holton is here.
Hello.
Hey.
Nikki. Hello, KBLX Live Nation family. Thanks for having me.
Yes, honey, she's here. And, wait, hold up. Terrence got a comment. Wait, hold up. Terrence got a comment already. Why are you in here preaching, Terrence? He said, first and foremost, a rusty can cannot bring oil to a well-developed relationship.
That's right.
You telling the truth, Terrence. But let's get into our conversation. Yes. Let's do that. So how have you been? You look great.
Thank you. I've been good. Handling quarantine and this pandemic as best I can. It's a unique time, but a powerful time to be creative and go inward and focus on the relationship with yourself. I'm thriving. What about you?
Girl, I'm doing real good. I will say that I am dating a little bit. And I feel different though. Good. It's a different, let me see if I can find the right word. It's a different pull. It's different wants and desires.
Yes.
And it's a different place that I'm starting from. I'll say that.
Good.
I'll say that. So let me tell you guys the story of how Angela and I met. I was hosting this big conference called the Best Meet Conference last year. Was it last year?
Yes, it'll be a year in October next month that we met.
Oh Lord Jesus. I okay, time is moving too fast. It just
Is.
blew my
It
mind with
is.
this. So she had a breakout session and she challenged us all to get on the dating apps. And she said, don't think about it, just do it. And the thing is, um, it was a good trigger for me because when you said don't think about it, because you know my tail was going to analyze it to death. Let me think about should I do this? Let me analyze and see. Um, so I did it. And I started to have different kinds of experiences because what you told us to do was you have to date to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like.
That's right.
And when I started to look at it like that, it's like, okay, this experience is good. I didn't even know this about myself. I didn't know that I didn't like this. So I started to welcome different experiences. Okay. Um, I started to welcome things. So it's been a great starting point for me. And I wanted to discuss that with you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And that's our headline. What's the number one secret?
Yeah. Are
So
you
when
ready
you
for
say
it?
number one secret, you can even give us the top three. Secret to a
Okay.
healthy relationship. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say number one is a relationship with yourself, a truly, deeply anchored relationship with yourself. Before you can be in
Mhm.
partnership with someone else, you have to be in partnership with yourself. Who you are, accepting yourself unconditionally, non judgment, self love, compassion, feeling good about who you are, feeling good about your purpose, your life. And when you know how to treat you, when you know how to talk to you, when you know your boundaries and what you deserve, that's what's going to show up as a mirror reflection to you as a date, as your partner, right? What we are on the inside is what shows up on the outside. And that's what everyone tends to think, well, I'm just going to search for what I want outside of me. No, search for the things that you want inside of you and become those things. And then the mirror reflection of that shows up. But you got to love yourself. If you don't love you, if you don't like you, if you don't like being around yourself and being in your own
Mhm.
company, how can we expect someone else to enjoy us? Right? And we
Mhm.
constantly give people permission with how to treat us. And if we don't treat ourselves well, if we don't even know what we like, what we need, and how to be treated, and we don't have those boundaries, guess what? Someone's going to show up and not honor those boundaries and treat you in the way you believe you deserve.
Oh, see, hold
Yeah.
on. You're saying some magic words in here, Angela. You got me taking notes and fanning myself with the church fan.
What did I say? Deserve?
Okay, no. Because what I did, I wrote down the word security.
Yes.
Because I love what you're saying, relationship with yourself, but I'll go a few layers deeper because that's been the magic word for me. Security.
Security.
Security. I shared with the KBLX Nation this great book that I read called Healing. And he's saying the same thing. He's saying it's self-love. If you're seeking self-love outside yourself, that's the first mistake. Or you seeking love, if you have that neediness, that's the first thing that a person sees about you is that neediness. So security allows you to just sit and
And be
observe
okay.
first.
And be okay and be still with being alone and being okay. You have to be in that place.
Yeah. So I feel like, and I'm gonna let y'all in the business a little bit because I told Angela this the other day. Couple of dates with a nice young brother. Couple of dates. I don't have the same neediness
Yeah.
at this particular point that I would, in the past.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, I wonder if he likes me. I wonder if I'm saying the right thing. Young person, when I was younger, that's the way I thought about things. And the logical center in myself right now says I have no clue who he is right now. I can't
Yeah.
make any assumptions. I can't ascertain how I feel yet because we've just hung out a few times. Chill,
That's right.
chill. You don't know nothing yet. Chill.
It,
Just
just
observe,
enjoy.
have a nice time. That's it.
That's it. Have a fun, pleasurable experience. And we put so much weight into the outcome of just a date. You're just meeting someone for the first time. It should be about having a fun experience, laughing, connecting, or not connecting, whatever it is. It's not so much attachment to this is my person every single time you go out with someone, and then feeling the exasperation and the disappointment when it's not that person. When people feel so disappointed that their date was not their beloved partner, their life mate, they're putting too much weight on the outcome of it instead of just enjoying the here and now and the experience. And when we let go of that pressure, okay, I'm going to date for curiosity. I'm going to date for fun. I'm going to date to discover myself, what I like. It's like a smorgasbord. You know, it's like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet and you taste a little bit of what you like, and then you may not like something else. So you go back and you don't pick that up on your plate the next time you go back out there. So
Let me, you done preach the word, Angela. She said, don't put that on your plate anymore. Simple as that. And this is a great conversation for grown women to have, because what we might have grown up with, what we might have been told, is outdated. That's outdated. I don't want it on my plate. I'm not going to that buffet anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't even eat that no more. I don't, you know.
If it doesn't bring you joy or serve you, don't put it on your plate. But you don't know what you want on your plate until you step up at that buffet, that counter, and taste what's available. And many of us just go out there dating thinking,
you can't be scared.
No. I mean, you know, what is the fear? What is it? Is it the fear of being found, discovered, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of rejection? You know, when we talk about that security, right? When you feel secure in yourself and you're anchored in yourself, you're not afraid of rejection. You're not afraid of not being good enough for somebody, because you know your self-worth, you know your personal power. And if someone doesn't like you or doesn't respond to you in the same way, it doesn't take away from your sense of self. You move on to the next.
All right, we're gonna have to take a real quick break.
Sure.
Just a pause right here, because I'm literally live on the radio.
All right. I love it.
Hold on one second. 102.9 KBLX R&B and Old School. It's Nikki Thomas in the afternoon. Good evening, KBLX Nation. I am live on the KBLX Facebook fan page right now. We're just having a little girl talk this evening. What's the #1 secret to a healthy relationship? What do you think it is? Okay, you need to come through and join in our conversation, like right now on the KBLX Facebook fan page.
An all-star weekday lineup on 102.9 KBLX. Morning.
All right. Sorry about that. I had to mute everything.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's we have like a little learning curve here. New system, new board, and sometimes it still throws me. So it's like, okay, everything quiet on the set. Let me concentrate here.
You are so good at multitasking. I'm impressed.
Yes, ma'am.
Quite impressive.
So let the KBLX Nation jump in here. So Tony says #1 is effective communication. Oh wait, where'd it go? I'm trying to get it up on the screen here. And I think that's a great one. That's the one that we've been told throughout the years. But I think even effective communication,
it doesn't start till you
your
love yourself.
security comes first. Your security comes first. If you can be insecure and an effective communicator, and you'd still end up in a really bad situation. You know what I mean? So that's
yeah, and let's be clear. You know, I hear from a lot of my clients, and when I do speaking events, that people always say communication, and they think that they're great communicators. And I would like to just challenge people: is what makes you an effective communicator? Because there's a big difference between talking and communicating. And communication is an art form, and it's the process in which we speak in a way that our words align with what we want to convey to the other person, and the other person hears what we want them to hear. That's the only way you know real communication has happened, is if we're able to articulate what we're feeling so that the person receiving it understands what we feel and what we're trying to say, and that they receive it and hear it and can regurgitate it back to you. That doesn't always happen just by talking. And that's why people can still talk and they walk away with a different thought, different perception, different story, because it hasn't been real effective communication. Because what we struggle with in today's dating and in relationships is listening. Our attention span is like 8 seconds, 8 minutes or something crazy. We don't effectively listen. So communication has to include effective listening and hearing and being able to repeat what you heard, and both parties walking from the discussion with mutual understanding.
Yeah. It's interesting. Communication is going to be different with different people too. I mean, what is great with this person might trigger the heck out of this person over here.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot of layers that you would have to dig through, and it takes a long time to know a person.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the classic line. Go ahead.
Oh, you can think you know someone and you don't. You know, I believe that there's several experiences you have to encounter to really know someone. You have to know, how do they deal with loss and grief? How do they deal with not getting their way? How do they deal with your personal success? Right? And how do they deal with adversity and challenges? So until you kind of know what you've gone through those experiences with someone, you don't always really know the person that might be in the bed with you for 10 years. If you haven't experienced some of life's travesties, you know, it's hard to know how people really cope, how they communicate, how they deal with pain. You think you know someone, and then you go through a struggle and you see someone completely different. So I want to share this. There's a quote that I love, and it says, the biggest illusion about communication is that it's happened.
Is that what?
It's happened. The greatest illusion about communication is that it's happened. Most people think it's happened, and it hasn't happened. It's not communication.
Don't make me jump out this window. Wow.
And then you've got that we're in this texting culture, which is the worst form of communication. It's horrible. I would really love to caution people, don't have conversations through text, because there's always a subtext to the text that might be missed. There's a tone, there's no inflection in the voice, intonation, even with emojis, doesn't still quite come across in what you're saying.
Yeah, totally not the place for serious conversation at all.
No. But you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at the people going back and forth communicating through text, couples in relationship, sharing a friend of mine actually shared a text with me yesterday of someone she met online, and it was so beautifully written, and he actually articulated himself very, very well, and it was very expressive. Well, why say all that in a text? Why not say that to the person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think communication comes after that security, self-love piece, but it's very important in a relationship.
Yeah, it's all super important, but that self-love is what's on the inside of you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how life works. Whatever's on the inside of you is going to be reflected on the outside of you.
That's right.
So, and the other thing is that other person has to have a healthy self-love. And the word that you wrote, or the word that you said that I wrote down, boundaries. That's the one I had to learn. If you don't have any boundaries, you can't possibly say you love yourself. You know, because you meet other people, they're going to get their needs met. They'll pull you out to the ocean. This is what I want. Come on.
You have to be clear on setting your boundaries. You have to be clear on, some people don't even know what their boundaries are. You know, if you grow up in a home where boundaries were not respected, honored, and the boundaries are very fluid, you may have very fluid boundaries in your relationships, and romantic relationships, and with business. You know, you may not keep those boundaries. People may be able to easily take advantage of you, or right. right?
Yeah.
People take
Yeah.
advantage of you. You know, you're over giving. You know, yeah,
Yes.
all of that,
Yes.
all of that.
Absolutely have been there. Absolutely have been there. And, everybody has stuff, old stuff that they've got to shake off. Or you might not even realize it's there. And that was a big one for me. It was big. And I mean, again, I don't mind telling my business about a lot of things. It's like you get certain days, you think you know something. And it's like, Lord, I don't know nothing. Because I swear I didn't
Right.
know a lot of the stuff was even in there. So yeah, boundaries, and it came from me thinking that I was not good enough. And that's something that is very common with a lot of people. It's like, well, no, I think I'm cute. No, that's not what that means. It means you think you have to take whatever's offered, that you got to take whoever isn't interested or loves you,
Yeah.
that you got
And
to jump at this one chance. This better be it.
yeah.
That's what that
And
looks and feels like.
exactly. That constant yearning to get validation from someone else. That is exhausting, right? If you're looking for that love from someone else and you're looking for them to approve of you and think that you're beautiful and think that you're wonderful and to show you what love looks and feels like, and if you don't have that, you don't feel validated. We have to
Mhm.
self-validate.
Yeah,
We
you
have to
do.
self-validate. I mean, look, we are human, and we do, as humans, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be understood, and we want to be loved. Like that's the
Yeah.
human design. That's who we
Hmm.
are. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be loved, but it's when you're yearning for a love that's greater than the love that you have for yourself. And I believe that love, talking about the other topics, I believe that love is anchored in a sense of inner fulfillment and purpose. When you
Hmm.
love who you are, what you're doing with your life, what you're creating for yourself in your life, that purpose that is inside of you that no one can take away from you, that is not contingent on anyone else but you and your relationship with your Almighty, that is what anchors us in a sense of joy, fulfillment, and in a place to be in partnership and relationship when we know who we are and what we want. And we're
Hmm.
serving in that capacity. Because there's nothing worse than if you're not happy in your work and what you're doing and you're still searching, and then you're with a partner who loves what they're doing and they're thriving and they're happy, you're going to be looking for that partner to create your happiness, to fulfill your happiness, or you might compete with your partner for that same level of happiness that they found in their career. So
Hmm.
I think purpose is very powerful before searching for a partner.
Hmm.
Find what's meaningful to you, because sometimes that hunger, that insatiable desire we have for human connection, sometimes it's really about finding a sense of peace and purpose within ourselves. That our why, the reason why. What is our why? And when we have that, yeah, when you have that why, you wake up in the morning ready to hit the full ground running. It just
Hmm.
guides it's your compass. It's your compass. And when you know the direction of what to say yes to in your life and what to say no, there's just greater ease and grace, because
Hmm.
this is not going to serve me in the work that I do. So I'm not even going to entertain that. But I'm going to say yes to this, because this is going to bring me closer to the dreams, the goals, and visions I want for myself, for my family, and my
Hmm.
partnership, etc. So, but you got to know what you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And let me just share this with everybody. We're talking about relationships and dating right now, but really self-love is the root of all the abundance you want in your life, because love and money is the same thing.
Same. It's all
It's the
energy.
same thing. This is how I feel about myself, so this is what's going to manifest. You can read all of the law of attraction books you want, all the things about manifest. That's really it in a nutshell. How you feel about yourself is going to manifest itself in your life. That's your love, that's your money, that's your career, everything. Everything. That's what I had to learn. And trust me, honey, when it was a thought like that, a light bulb moment. Whoa,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me.
Not
And
at
things just
all.
started to open up. This particular year, specifically, things just started opening. It was like, you know
Good.
what? I love myself enough to have these boundaries in place and have things that I want and don't want. there's plenty. There's
There's plenty.
plenty of people to date. There's
That's right.
plenty,
There's an
you
abundance. There's
know?
no scarcity of love out there. When your girl or your boy gets married, that doesn't mean they took from the pool of love. There's still more love out there. There's still more relationships. And when it's your time, when you've done the work and you're prepared for that partner, that person's time will come. And everybody's journey is different. And if we focus on the act being of service and showing up in work that we love, and when you're doing work that you love, it makes you attractive on the outside because you're
Yes,
happy,
it
you're
does.
joyful.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
And
does.
so two
Yes,
people
it
that are
does.
loving their lives, loving their passion, that partnership really becomes a gift of service and community to other people. Being in partnership is not just for us. Being in partnership is being in service to others. It's like a gift. It's an offering. It's like, yeah.
Preach, hallelujah, girl. You done preached the word this
Where's my
evening.
fan? Exactly.
Right. We think so often of ourselves, but that's really what it is. It's like you are putting, you're radiating so many things out
Right.
into the world as a single person. When you join with somebody else, you're supposed to radiate on an even grander scale because
Grander
you're
scale.
full. That other person is full. You know what I mean? And that's it.
And your
That's it. Happy
relationship,
Friday, Erica.
that love
Mhm.
is a gift that you offer to everyone else to be a witness to experience your love that you're building in sacred communion with your partner. It's not me,
Mhm.
me, me. I just want love. But no, you're helping one another elevate. And then together, your communion helps elevate other people. And that's why I'm just so passionate about relationships. Maybe I'm wacky, crazy, thinking that I can really help and make a difference in relationships, but I really feel that's my purpose is as we heal within, we
Uh-huh.
heal without. And when we heal within, we heal the relationships that show up. And as we heal the relationships, we eradicate fear. We eradicate, hate. Right? Hate cannot exist in the presence of fear, of love,
Mhm.
excuse me. Fear only exists in
Wow.
the presence of I'm getting all tongue tied here. Fear only exists in the absence of love. So when we are in that place of love, just imagine what the world could be like. So if people think, well, what kind of impact can I make in the world if I just like myself and I'm just, you know, doing something I love? A lot. One person can ripple out to thousands. So when you are in service and loving yourself and honoring yourself, you show up to life giving other people permission to do the same. And I can tell you, even just doing
Mhm.
my work, you inspire other people to feel and to when you're walking around with joy and love and fulfillment and you're walking in your purpose, people look at you and they say, "Ooh, I want what she has. I want that in my coffee," right? Like they want that. So just remember that, like whatever we are creating within ourselves is what emanates outside of us and it's what we attract back to us. So whether that
Mm.
is, we don't attract in life what we want, we attract in life what we believe we deserve. And that's the law of attraction.
That's it. That's it in a nutshell. I read a book the other day that said, "Oh, this is the last law of attraction book you'll ever need to read." And I thought it was cute. And I was like, you know what? That's an excellent point, though. It's like if you need to read over and over again and you act like you're not getting it, it's like that's the block right there.
That
That
is
you
the
think you
block,
need something else, that you think you need something else. You need more information.
right?
I don't know yet. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. It doesn't feel right yet. That is the block right there. Not enough, not good enough, not yet. I don't know. I'm not sure. I gotta wait. Somebody gotta give me permission to do it. Honey, listen, that's a clue that you are not loving yourself hard enough.
not hard
You
enough.
know?
Don't wait for
Hmm.
someone else to give you permission to love you. We are deserving of love as we are, the size that
Mhm.
we are, the education we have, whatever amount of money we have in the bank accounts, we are worthy of love now. And that's what changes the whole dating scene is when you show up from a place of abundance that
Changes
I'm enough,
everything.
I'm complete, and not this scarcity of, oh my God, if I don't get married, if I don't have kids, I know what that feeling felt like. I believe that being married was the end all be all. And I set up my whole
Mhm.
life like, okay, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to study, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to have my husband. It's going to be happily ever after. And then I waited for happily ever after, and I waited and I waited. And really, it was finding happily ever after with myself. Because had I tried to create happily ever after and give that responsibility to someone else, I'd be divorced probably a couple of times over. So I'm glad I took the time to really learn these skills and take my time to really discover who I am and what I need and what I want and how I show up to relationships so that I can be a great partner. It's about whatever you want to attract, become that, right? That's the conscious dating method, is less about seeking and more about becoming. So whatever you want in a male or a female, whatever the qualities are, pour that quality into yourself, from yourself, and become it. And when you become it, the mirror reflection of it will show up in your life. It has to. That is the universal law. That is the law of attraction. Become it, and then you attract it. It finds its way to you.
Yeah, and let me reiterate one thing. Dating, understanding what dating is. That means I'm going on several dates with several people.
Why not?
Okay, that's what that dating. Date.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're intimate. It doesn't mean you're getting. It doesn't mean anything. And I have to see, not as potential mate or potential husband. I don't even put that on the table first. You're not on my potential husband list. Are you crazy? I'm not looking for a husband.
Right.
So there's a lot of building that you would have to do with one person if you're starting from scratch. Exactly. Before that would enter let me check this person out and get to know them, because I hope that's what he's doing to me, not got a target on my head. You're trying to get with me. You're trying to get me to hook up with you. You're trying to make me your wife. You don't even know me.
Exactly.
You don't even know me. So that's what I want him to do. So that's what let me get to know this person.
Yeah.
And that know this person, ask questions. Yeah.
That energy is what you call desperate energy. When people can tell that you want a relationship and that you're looking at them like, I'm your target, it reeks of desperation, and no one wants to date someone who feels desperate, and you can smell that. It's in our pheromones. Like, it comes off our chemistry. You want someone who's like, okay, yeah, I'm here to have a good time and get to know you and what I can know in 1 hour. That's it. And then if I want to see, we'll build from there. But it's important to know what the other person's definition of dating is, because y'all could be on two different pages. Absolutely. But that happens like depending on how many times you've been on dates. I think it takes a certain perpetual number of dates before you're in an exclusive relationship. But if you're just dating and meeting other people and both parties are honest about it.
1 second. 1 second. Quiet on the set. (102.9) KBLX, R&B, and old school. Check us out at kblx.com. All right. We're back.
I'm back. We're back.
Yeah. So it's still,
his question was about dating. His question was about dating. And when you go out with someone 1 or 2 times, I don't think there's a need to have this full-on conversation about what dating is. But when you've spent a series of dates with someone, I think the conversation authentically and organically comes up. Are you dating other people? What does it mean for you to be dating? And I think, you have those conversations and communicate that so that everybody's on the same page when you've started spending a lot of time together. And that conversation should happen before you engage in intimacy. If you both two people looking for a relationship, but hey, if you're there to have a good time, no problem. But if you know that he or she wants more than a good time, if you know that they're, it's showing some integrity and saying, hey, before we cross this line, what are your expectations and intentions of this relationship?
And the other thing is, you're doing all this inner work to make yourself secure and loving yourself. You got to make sure the other person has done their work and is secure as well. That's your litmus test right there. And that takes a minute. Let me see what boundaries, if they know what they want, if they're loving themselves, if they can be kind to other people. There's so many things that just won't come up immediately that you have to put some time into.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you said, Nick. You got to spend time asking people the right questions. I want to
So
partner.
let's do a quick bonus. Luther says, I want to partner, but COVID has made it challenging, girlfriend. So you know what?
I'm gonna challenge that, because I know a lot of people who are actually connecting, meeting, and fostering relationships during COVID. It's actually a really great time to date. People are less distracted. They're just less distracted. So you're more likely to find someone who's looking for what you're looking for. Are you on the dating apps? This is a powerful time to get to know someone mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, with delaying the physicality of things, right? That instant gratification of the sparks and the this and that. You really get to know someone's mental design, right? And emotional design. And you build from that, and you get to really build communication. So COVID has only interrupted a few things, but you can have social distancing dates. You can go on picnics. You can go to parks. You can go on a bike ride, paddle boarding, paddle boating, whatever. So there you go. It's only limited if you create the limitations, and if you see it and approach it from that limited perspective. It's time to be creative. I think that we're being called to really foster relationships from a more meaningful place. That's what we're being challenged to do. I think relationships that are coming from this time are either going to be like, oh yeah, I was just getting through quarantine with you. Or I think people are really going to find true intimacy and connection with people, because this time affords it.
Well, hold on one second. Hold on.
She gives me a look every morning. 102.9 KBLX. R&B and old school. Asian Collective, Opportunity Academy partners.
I don't know what that was.
Schools, community colleges, and community partners to ensure your needs can be met. To register online, go to ACOE.
I don't know what just happened. Two things were happening at once. Okay. Yeah, and I didn't touch anything. I was nowhere near the board. Peralta. Let me just write this down so I can fix it.
That's 510-670-7602. Let Opportunity Academy put you on a path to success.
Love my 90s R&B. R&B. Okay. All right, we're good. I just have to make sure I know what I'm talking about when I say, hey, it's two things. But I love what you said. It's actually a good time because everybody has the same boundary. Like, look, we got to wear our face masks, sanitize the hands. You stay over there. I think that's ideal. That's how you're supposed to date. And you already know if somebody's trying. Right. If they're trying to paw all on you and they're trying to hook up with you and take the look, bro, you off the list. You were no.
Yeah, it's true. But sometimes we get excited like a kid in a candy store, and we get enticed by the physical, and we think that there's a connection because there's chemistry, right? Just because there's chemistry and sparks and fireworks doesn't mean that there's deep-rooted emotional connection. So COVID has allowed us to sort of come out of our physical bodies a little bit, and think and kind of date from a higher, more spiritual place. And some people just may not like that approach, but it's actually healthier and actually has greater sustainability in a relationship if you're building from the heart-centered qualities than, ooh, I feel a spark, or I'm not attracted. You can't even really tell what anyone looks like with these masks on. So just go have fun. Go have fun.
Yeah. It's a real thing. I don't know, just getting all wound up just based on, like you said, butterflies. Butterflies are lies.
Are lies.
Take that out of the metric. Butterflies are lies. I don't want to be taken out of my right mind.
No.
I don't want to be in a space where I'm I don't want to do that at all. So I've learned that it's like that's not long-term, that's not a long-term pleasurable experience to be in a situation where I'm feeling, I feel so attracted. There's so much chemistry. So what? So what? Chemistry is great. That's great. You want it, but we're not going to override everything else just for that chemistry and those butterflies.
And that's the thing, butterflies sort of keep us floating. You know, we float off the ground, and you really want 2 feet on the ground. You want to be grounded when you're dating. You know, yes, it's fun. It's butterflies are lies. That's right. It's fun. It's infatuation. Yes, that's great. But you really want to see if the other parts of the relationship are there as well. And it's not just based on, you know, if chemistry, it was so reliable and sparks were so reliable, we wouldn't have so many single people in the world, and we wouldn't have as much divorce. You know, people are, oh, they're not the partner I thought they were. So I say take your time, get to know someone, but take the pressure of relationship off the table and just have fun. Create fun experiences, positive, fun experiences. That should be the focus of dating.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Child, so listen, I'm going to have to wrap up my show a little while.
Thanks for having
And
me.
we just want to check in and have a great conversation. Angela Holton is a dating and relationship expert. You can find her at Angela N. Holton on
Gmail.
Instagram, right?
Instagram. Instagram. What
Yes.
am I saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you see it, but without the period there, Angela N. Holton. And, you know, she's got a bunch of great stuff coming up because, you know, on the one hand, it's like, okay, we're on top of the money. You know, this is the inner work right here that we're talking about, because her message is all about that self-love and conscious dating.
That's right.
Conscious dating. I loved it. And I was so glad that I had picked your breakout session at that conference. I was like, Lord, this woman didn't change my whole world.
I remember you sitting there, and I was looking at you, and I was like, okay, I can't tell if the expression on her face is like she's really enjoying this, or she's like, oh, when is this going to be over? Why the heck did I choose this? So I couldn't tell because your face was
I'm
so
so
expressive.
sorry. I have to warn people. It's like I got Terminator face. I could be
You
so
had it.
joyful on the
Oh,
inside, but it's just like it always looks like if I'm not smiling, I think a lot of people have that little issue. But yeah, I was really loving it. I was really, and probably keeping time too, because I had to be back on stage at a certain time.
That's right.
But
That's
yeah,
right.
it was great. It was life-changing for me. And it just goes to show you how when you change your mind, your whole life can change. Changing your
Life is a
thoughts.
mindset. That's right.
Mhm.
Life is mostly about
Yes,
the way
ma'am.
we think and perceive it than the actual reality that we experience. So,
Yes. Oh, girl, see, we could talk another hour
all right.
because
I
your
know. Thank you
ideas.
so much, everybody.
I
for
know.
joining tonight.
All right, fellas and ladies and the KBLX Nation and Soul Tribe, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll talk to you later. I'm here at the station. Turn your radio on, KBLX or KBLX.com or the KBLX app so that you can listen. And also, I'll be on the radio tomorrow too. So y'all take care. I see you, Sherry. I see Luther. Oh, my love. That's his song right there. 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Angela Holton.
Thank you for
Y'all
having
have
me.
a good
Good night,
evening.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.